All right, all right, all right. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to yet a brand new edition of 27 Outs. As always, I am Ivan alongside Stefan. Sorry for the slight delay. Listen, those few minutes are actually going to come in handy for the remainder of the show because the quality now is just better, right? Because this times, listen, we have issues on our end and you
Yeah,
guys won't even
man.
seem to tell us about it.
It's
So anytime that we get a hold of it early on, it's always good, right? Because I mean, the show is going to be as good as always. Anyway, guys, as you guys could tell by the thumbnail of tonight's video, we are going to talk about that very interesting series, by the way. They won't be meeting each other again, the White Sox and the Cubs, but they did split. Unfortunately, we will not be seeing them in the postseason until,
yeah.
if the odds do happen, they end up making it to the World Series. But damn, that would have been nice to see them in the postseason, right? The White Sox and the Cubs, if it weren't for like this American League NLBS.
It felt like a postseason series, no?
It did. I mean, the first two
It felt
games, the Cubs, they won in walk-off fashion.
so. This what I'm gonna tell you. It felt like big on the middle of August, and yeah, literally the middle of
I think we have an issue, bro. Sorry, yeah. We don't hear you at all. Chat, do you guys hear Stefan? Let us know in the comment section. I heard him at first, but then it sounds like he's cutting off. Um, yeah. No, you're muted right now, bro. Try to unmute yourself. You're muted. You're muted. Try to unmute your mic. Let's see how you sound like now.
do it.
It just might be the outlet.
Yeah, it's in and out. It might be that, bro. Yeah, it's in and out. It could be that. Sorry about that, chat. Unmute yourself now, because what it's doing, it's like muting you automatically. Let's see if we hear you.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you through the laptop. Let's do it like that, bro. It's much better.
Nah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on. My audio is like hot garbage today. But
I thought we had it, man, but we gonna push through nonetheless, bro. The chat is
Hey,
they're gonna
man,
rock with us regardless.
I this sucks. I don't like being not prepared like this. This doesn't feel like me, But yeah, I don't know. It could be somebody messing with.
They going through them emails right now.
It's funny. I got a few emails from some people today. Don't even joke like that. So it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. The feds could be coming for you. You talking spicy about the Trump administration? We cutting off your technology, bruh.
Yo, by the
Pause.
way, speaking of that, a lot of things are starting to pick up. Like when it comes to that, I know we spoke about it briefly over the past like week and a half or so, but now I kind of feel like with every day that actually goes by, there's more information coming out, man. Which, listen, I'm not saying that he's gonna have to sell the team, but with the more information that comes out, the chances of him having to do that, seem likely. You never know.
Right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know if you hear me better now through the audio.
It's kind of the same. Well, I hear you.
All right, cool. So I think he's going to have to sell the team strictly because you see what's happening now. They're investigating him borrowing money from another venture capital firm in Chicago. He borrowed $20 billion from this other firm in Chicago. Now, what I'm going to say about that is that's crazy because that's insider trading. That is illegal. You cannot do that. Like that, when they talk about insider trading, that's what they mean. Like the government puts you in prison for that. So forget about selling his sports franchises. You in trouble with the feds, bro. Like now we talking about maximum security prison type thing, where it's like, bro, you're not getting off scot-free. The only thing that might save him is that Trump is the president right now. And Trump is his boy, and they had business dealings in the past. So that might be the only thing that saves him. But I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be really, really bad, bro. To the point where I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm going, well, you in trouble because here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, you can't circumvent the feds, bro. You could circumvent salary caps and sports leagues and do whatever you do. You can't circumvent the feds, bro. And He's circumventing the feds. And what that tells me is when you sell teams that fast, bro, he knows he's in trouble. He sold his shares to the soccer team. The Lakers got off quick. And now he's talking about he's borrowing money. He's trying to borrow money to cover the rest of the Dodger expenses, bro. You borrowing money? This is insane.
Where are his like I'm sure he's got like some of his boys, whoever they are, like that are gonna look out for him if he does get into serious trouble. Like you said, maybe Trump will have to pardon him. Who knows what ends up happening? Right. But where are like his rich billionaire homies who could bust him down a few like to get me out of trouble? Where they at?
So here's the thing, right? If you don't know how much he's already borrowed from those people.
Yeah.
Just to cover the cost of some of this. It's not just like, I'll front you the bread, and then when you get it, you pay me back. We don't know if he could even cover those. We don't even know if he could pay back the money he's already owing the venture capital firm he borrowed from in the first place. It's bad, bro. It's bad. And I'm going to be the one to say it. This is what we get for being greedy as a society. Because you said it the other day, bro. Greed kills everything. Greed kills everything from the standpoint that, you were all high and mighty. You had the Lakers, you had the Dodgers, you had LA in the palm of your hand. And now within the span of a year and some change, it's all gone. All of it is gone, bro. Like all of it is gone. To the point where like you're not even like, we can't even look at you and be like, maybe it's not that bad. No, it's that bad, bro. It's that bad to the point where we looking at this brother like, fam, I don't know how to help you. It's to the point where I don't like, and for me, I'm all about following the money. When the feds come knocking at your door, you said this the other day, they got something, bro. Mm-hmm. They're not coming just to say hi and give you a Christmas card, drink hot cocoa, and sing Kumbaya. They coming with something, bro. And I go back to this because this is a very key point. They stopped him at an airport in Chicago. You know what he was doing in Chicago? Trying to borrow money from another venture capital firm.
Damn.
They took his phone. They took his laptop. They took the iPad. They took all the technology that he was on that plane with. Feds are coming for that brother, bro. Quick, fast. And then on the Laker tip, Jeannie Buss is having issues with the siblings because 5 of them want to sell except for her.
Yeah, I did hear something where the Buss family was like getting ready to get rid of their share. Is that on hold now after what you said, or?
Yes, because there's a provision in the contract that says it's called the tag along provision, which means the 5 brothers, right, want to sell the team because they have shares in the franchise because the father left each of them shares.
Individually, they all have their own, right?
Yes.
Wow.
But Jeannie is the one that's going to make the final decision on if it gets sold or not. Because when the dad left the deed of the trust in her name. Mm-hmm. So you make the final decision on what happens here. So she's trying to buy the shares back. And we talking about 18%, which if you do the math, that's about $5 billion.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with that, right? If the siblings are wanting to move on from it, and if she wants to remain, give me what you guys were given from dad, and then I'll remain. Like, I'll rock out with whatever we got.
Here's the problem: Mark Walter might not have that kind of time.
Right, he needs that bread. Yeah. Wait, how much was it that he sold for again? Was it 12 billion?
12.5.
Right. So he need that extra. He need that extra too that he made in profit.
Playing games, bro. I'm barely scraping by as it is. Y'all playing games with your boy, bro. Help me, yo.
Yo, that's crazy to say, man. Like I know maybe for now, he's still trying, man, and hopefully, listen, it doesn't end up being as bad as it may be for him. But imagine him getting older, right? Let's say shit hits the fan here, and I hope it doesn't for Walter. But if it does, imagine him being like a much older dude. Like I'm talking like not having much time left on this earth. And he's out here sharing his story, talking about, yo, I was once a guy who owned both the Dodgers and the Lakers, and now I own neither team. That's crazy, bro.
And now I'm doing 6 to 7 years for tax evasion, tax fraud, insider trading. They throwing the book at me. This brother might do 10 years. He might do 10 years. So you went from Otani, you went from having bets, you went from having the entire world to nah, it's a wrap like that. It's gone just like that, bro. And there's no recourse. And here's the other thing. You know, it's not that the Dodgers have to get sold, right? Do you know the new owner has to buy the Dodgers, right? Whatever the franchise valuation is worth, and you got to assume the $1 billion in debt of the deferred contracts.
Mm-hmm.
They're still paying deferred money. Bro, they don't stop paying deferred money till 2043 in some cases.
Listen, I think there are, and we don't know who they are, right? But I think there are going to be people, if it does get to that point, I think there are going to be people lining up to buy the Dodgers with the debt, with everything, bro, because they're the Dodgers, you know? Like, had this been any other franchise, I'd be like, I don't know if they're going to have too many buyers, but we're talking about one of the biggest markets. In fact, yo, you could argue the biggest market today, bro. Like, I know people love New York and the Yankees and the amount of championships that they won, but the Dodgers, they've been running the show for a long time now over there.
You know who I think can be in the mix? And I was thinking about this today. I wonder if a guy like Mark Cuban, who's been trying to buy a baseball team for the last 30 years, says, oh shit, the Dodgers became available. What if I buy him? I'm not saying he buys them, but I'm saying there's a chance. Baseball, you think baseball hates Steve Cohen? My God, if Mark Cuban buys the Dodgers, it'll be the end of civilization.
Do you think so?
God.
I thought. Listen, I don't know too much about. Obviously, Dirk Nowitzki is the first guy that comes to mind when I think of Mark Cuban and what he did with the Mavs. I think about the championship and them taking down the Miami Heat, the big three, right? Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. Can't forget that. But I kind of thought he did an interesting job over there, because I remember even, wasn't it like in 2006 they had went to the finals? They lost to the Heat, but that was also another finals appearance.
No, I'm talking about, you know why baseball is going to hate him is because he's going to spend money worse than Cohen would. Mark Cuban don't care.
Like on some stupid shit.
What? Mark Cuban will look at Rob Manfred and be like, you said I can't do what? I can't spend what? But you crazy, bro? Do you know who I am?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he just got it clean. When he sold the Mavericks, bro, he sold it for like, he got it clean like $8 billion for them. He's straight. Mm-hmm. If he wants to reinvest that money somewhere, he can. That's how rich that dude is. He got money, bro. He's not starving. That's why I look at a guy like Mark Cuban. I look at the Bolin family in Denver. They got more money than the Feds. They just
they own the Nuggets?
No, the Broncos.
Oh, okay, the Broncos, the football.
And they just gave the Rockies a loan. They just gave the Rockies a loan to pay down some of their debt. The Bolin family got money. You heard? Them niggas, they rich.
This is my first time hearing about them. I mean, of course, because I'm not into the NFL, but good to know that they own the Broncos, though.
They rich, bro. They're different. They disrespectfully rich, bro. That's how serious it is. When you own an NFL franchise and you just gave the Rockies mad bread to pay down the debt, you got bread, bro. You got bread. You ain't.
Yo, that's
starving.
crazy, bro. First of all, I didn't even know that they did that for the Rockies. Shout out to them for having that much money to be able to do that. But, and still, even with the Rockies getting these donations from their hometown folks, they still don't do shit with the money.
No, but it goes to show you that money don't mean nothing if you don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Money is good to have, but if you don't know what to do with the bread, it don't mean nothing. Like that's
like having talent, right? And you never being in a position where you could expose yourself to people who would want to do that.
Bro. Yes. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, y'all got all this, but y'all don't even know where to put all this money. Y'all got so much damn money. That's the crazy. They don't even know where to put this bread, bro. And this is why I say when billionaires cry broke, What you mean y'all broke? Y'all got money, y'all just don't want to spend money. Y'all became billionaires because y'all frugal. Listen, man. And then I'm hearing we got a problem with Justin Ishbia, the White Sox owner. The White Sox future owner, rather than.
Wait, what's going on over there?
Some insider trading situations happening going on.
Yo, what's going on with all these illegal activities, bro? All these millions and billionaires and trillionaires want more, bro. Like, yo.
They bugging, bro.
Shit, and you got people like you and I here trying to create a platform. All we want is a piece of the pie. Like, and these dudes got it all and everything more, and they still want beyond that. It's crazy.
Bro, you talking about you want a piece. I want a sliver of the pie. Fuck a piece.
I want a slice.
Let me get like 1/3, bro. I'm good with 1/3 or whatever you make. Bro, but that just goes to show you the business of baseball is the business of sports is dirty, bro.
Right.
And nobody is willing to at least stand up and say, yo, this is bad. And I'm gonna tell you, Ohtani's not gonna use that clause in his contract because he's been getting paid lovely. But here's what it's gonna come down to: all that major spending they were doing, with they signed all the free agents, and everybody thought it was sweet. Because here's another bit of detail I'm gonna give you. Do you know what Mark Walter tried to do today?
Nah, what's that?
He tried to sell the Dodgers television rights to try and get an upfront lump sum fee to pay off the debt he got. Now, mind you, this whole package is, I think he said $344 million per year for their TV rights, which amounts to, I think I read like somewhere around like $12 billion.
Over how many years?
Over, I think I read somewhere over like 20 years.
Damn.
And he tried to get it front loaded because he popped, bro. He's popped, bro. So when y'all sit there and say, oh, but why does that matter? Why does it matter how much money they got? It matters because look at him now. Your man's going to every creditor, every lender, everybody that got some bread. Yo, help a brother out. I'm dying over here.
What I also think he's preparing for too are these lawyers that he has to pay now, right? Like, yo, he's gonna have to have some superheroes behind his back in court, bro. And I can only imagine. I mean, I listen. We're talking about billionaires, right? So these people should have no problem paying these people off. But at the same time, think about what this guy's facing, right? Like, this is serious stuff. And if it ends up being what we think it could be, you got to have the best of the best to defend you in court.
Listen, Johnny Cochran ain't walking through that door. You better find another Johnny Cochran buried somewhere. You need help. Robert Shapiro ain't walking through that door. The Kardashians' father ain't walking through that door. You better find you some lawyers, bro. You better find you one of some of them A1 lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not dealing with just anybody. You're dealing with governmental employees. You're dealing with the feds.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, when it comes to the feds, they have a high success rate, right? When it comes to finding out what they want, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about the feds, they don't come knocking unless you got something. Like I said, the feds ain't here to send you Christmas cards and say what's up.
Well, they actually come for people after like studying you for some time, right? They're like this is over time that they've been building a case, I'm sure, for.
So if I had to guess, if I had to take an educated guess, they've been looking at this brother for at least a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Because what the feds try to do is they try to build a case similar to what they call a RICO case.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you do something, if you commit a certain amount of crimes and you connected with all types of nefarious business dealings, like, you know, obviously it's not drugs in this case, but usually RICOs are attached to like drugs and underground gambling rings and all that type of stuff. This is different because you talking about money laundering, you talking about cheating the government out of that's almost like fraud, bro. This is basically like tax evasion of the highest level.
Right, the highest form of tax evasion.
That's crazy, bro. That means if you do the math, that means that the Guggenheim net worth, if you look at the Guggenheim net worth,
mm-hmm.
which he owns. Mark Walter owns the Guggenheim, like he owns the whole thing. If you look at that, bro, do you understand that Guggenheim net worth is like $33 billion? Matter of fact, Google it for me because I see you typing.
Mm-hmm.
The Guggenheim net worth is close to like $34 billion, bro. And he owns that.
Let me see. So they manage, it says they manage over $345 billion in assets.
Yes, but they themselves
Mm-hmm.
are they themselves, their pure liquid is like $34 billion.
Right.
Now you manage all that money, so that money funnels through you, but they themselves are worth like $34 billion.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is crazy, bro.
Man, you know what it is? As bad as this sounds, I still would not be surprised if when the dust, finally settles, he ends up just walking free, and maybe he's got to spend a few $1 million, maybe $1 billion here, whatever the case may be, but he'll be fine.
Well, I'm not worried about him as opposed to I'm worried about the Dodgers themselves as a baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got to know who's going to buy him. Can they cover the expenses of what the roster is going to be in Tampa right now? And does Andrew Friedman leave, the president? Yo, there's too much turnover. It's too toxic. I can't do this. I'm out.
You know what I would say, and maybe I'm wrong, right? Because if there is going to be a season next year, even though there is going to be a delayed season, if there is going to be one, right? It's not going to start on time with the lockout, that's for sure. But if there is a season next year, and not just next year, but moving forward, I think if the Dodgers actually go out there, and I strongly believe that they're going to three-peat this year, so does everybody else in baseball. I think if you're a Dodgers fan, yo, this could be it for some time. Not to say that they won't be a playoff team, not to say that they can't continue to win the National League West. No, I still think that they can do that for years to come. I'm talking about being as dominant as they have been now, right? We're talking about them being on the verge in less than 3 months. They could be, World Series champs for the third year in a row. With all of this stuff that's surrounding the franchise right now, I wonder if this three-peat could be the end of, this so-called, not so-called, it is a dynasty, actually.
I mean, that's a good question. That's a fair question. The only thing I will say to that is, at some point, baseball has to wake up and smell the roses, because you can't let this team just continue to do what they're doing, right? That's why you need other people to step up. Like Atlanta, you missed the boat. Milwaukee, you missed the boat. Somebody in the American League is going to have to take it from these brothers, because the rest of you National League teams, you're just paralyzed with fear. You're paralyzed with fear, bro. This is insane. And what I'm going to tell you is, I saw some very revealing things over the last couple of days. Is it fair to say I think the Atlanta Braves are the most fraudulent playoff team left in the National League? Because look at what Atlanta's been through. Atlanta just got swept today by the Twins.
That's tough.
They got swept. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees last weekend. Like, Atlanta hasn't been playing well since the break. I got some questions about the Braves, and you mention it all the time. The pitching isn't that good. Who's walking through the door to save you? Right? Who's going to help the Phillies? You signed Nestor Cortez. That's nice. That's a nice bullpen addition. That's nice.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that, bro. I didn't even know he didn't have a job actually this year.
Well, he's rehabbing because he tore his bicep.
Oh, okay, true. All right, so he was dealing with something. I forgot.
Like, yeah, like,
last thing I heard of Nestor Cortez was when he was with the Brewers, and ever since, I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, he pitched a couple games.
Crazy.
It blew out. Like a tire on a car. He should, like my jack over here. It should blew out. Done.
You know what's funny? We were just talking about the Braves, and one thing that you brought up a few days ago that I thought was interesting, and I think we weren't talking about the Braves then, but I do think it relates, right? Because going into the deadline, the Brewers and the Braves were the Braves certainly a whole lot more, because I do like the Brewers pitching staff better than I do the Braves. But these were the two teams who when it came to Tariq Skubal, you were hoping that they would land him. Obviously, he didn't. He went to the Dodgers, as we were saying for a long time on the platform for now, right? But he ends up not going to these two teams. And one thing that you mentioned the other day was, the Brewers, I can't take y'all serious after what y'all did in terms of not landing that top flight pitcher at the deadline. And I think the same applies to this Braves team as well.
And the Braves more so than the Brewers, because at least if Kyle Harrison writes the ship, you got Mizorowski, you got some pitchers around them. Where if you look at Atlanta, you're like, it's Chris Sale and a bunch of, huh? Who's pitching for you? Grant Holmes. You know what I mean? Who else? Who? Oh man! Don't give me Schwellenbach. Don't give me Strider. Don't give me none of them dudes. I can't. Strider's more disabled than me, and I'm in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
You said something too. Yo, why are Spencer Strider's legs this big?
Yeah, they're massive, bro.
Bro, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he be on the what's that the bike that everybody started riding a couple years ago? What was that bike? I can't think of the name. That it's like he be doing them triathlons on that bike, bro. There's a bike that everybody rides. It's an indoor. I can't think of the name right now, but yo, what are you doing? You on a stationary just pumping iron, bro? Like, your legs don't gotta be that big, bro. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a calf, a quad. That you trying to blow up.
I feel like he's the reverse of Giancarlo Stanton, where like you look at Stanton, his physique, everything is like upper body. Whereas Spencer Strider, I mean, he is a pitcher, right? And legs are important, but his thighs are massive, bro. Like they look like 2001. Yeah, no lie, bro. One of his thighs is like 2 to 3 of our thighs put together. Seriously.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. That is insane. That I can't believe that. But yo, apologies, man, if my audio sounds like trash tonight. We just trying to work through it. Apologies, but we're just trying to give y'all a show tonight. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm a little worried about the Tampa Bay Rays.
You are? Let's get into that, because you saw that game today between them and the Blue Jays. Yo, for a second, I thought that final out. Shout out to Cedric Mullins for getting that out there in center. But man, if that would have landed, that would have been a tie ball game. They did win 7-6, the Rays, but
I'm a little worried about the Rays, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. Tampa, you playing with fire, Tampa. You playing with fire. I'm gonna tell you why you playing with fire. The Orioles walked in there and they won 3 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto walks in there last night and wins 10-5.
Toronto has been playing better ball, man. Injuries and all, like, yo, you never know. You never know.
And then they were down 7-9 because Max Scherzer is 96 years old. So by the time the bats got going, they were already down 7-9. But you look up, 7-0 became 7-3. 7-3 became 7-5, and by the time you had the time run on in the 9th inning. If the ball falls fair, it falls to the ground, like you said, it's a top ball game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We probably still playing right now, and that's what I'm gonna tell you this. Shane McClanahan, you better hope that brother stays healthy, because if he don't, you got a problem. Seymour looks like he's coming down to earth a little bit. Nick Martinez got rocked yesterday.
Yeah.
You got to remember, he's been good for most of the season. He is 35 years old. He did get rocked yesterday, bro. And what I'm going to tell you is, you know me, I'm a predictor of, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
Yeah.
Don't let Toronto get hot and believe they can get back into this thing, because then that's a problem. Oh, and by the way, don't look up, but the Yankees have won 3 straight. All of a sudden, they go from, we can't score to we just won 3 straight. By the way, the Orioles got robbed tonight. I don't know if you're watching the Yankee game, but Pete Alonso hit a ball that they ruled foul, but was clearly fair. The ball was over the foul pole. It was a fair ball. The Orioles would have taken the lead. The Yankees got a gift. Yankees win 5-3.
Wait, hold on. So first of all, I was not watching it. I was watching other games, but I missed something interesting now that you said that. How is that allowed? How is this now overturned? Like, how did they get away with this? Is my question.
Because I don't know, and they even call for a crew chief review. Somebody want to tell me how that's not a fair ball?
Bro, I gotta see this myself. Yo, with all the replay, all the rule changes, I mean, you name it, everything across the board. You still out here getting calls like that wrong? That's a shame. Let me look this up real quick because I didn't see it.
It's bad. And I'm not even trying to be funny. The Orioles should have been leading 4-3 at the time. That's a fair ball.
I gotta watch this, bro. Let me see.
I'm not even lying. If you see it, you're gonna notice right away. Especially
chat,
when they go.
Did you guys see this? Let us know in the chat.
Boom pay the buck. You crazy, bro. And they never explained it either. That's bad, bro.
Yo, the fact that so you're saying that they actually did go to review it, but beyond that, they still ended up getting the call wrong?
Nah, that's a fair ball, bro.
Let me see. I'm watching it right now. Okay.
Motion. That's a fair ball.
Okay, I can't tell with the original camera.
Go to what? Let them slow it up a little bit.
Oh, that is a fair ball, actually.
That's a fair ball, bro.
Yeah, that's actually inside the foul pole.
Yeah, that's a fair ball. That's a home run.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. Listen, I know the O's need every win that they can get, especially if they're trying. Listen, now whether you think they're gonna get it or not is up to you. I'm not here to debate that, right? But are the Orioles playing better baseball? Yes, exactly. If you're trying to get even if it's the final spot, right? However, it don't matter, especially for a team like Baltimore. They're just trying to get in. Yo, how do you lose? How do you not get that call right? I don't understand.
And they went to review it. This is what I'm saying. They went to review this.
Wow.
They had baseball on the line. Like, yo, tell me if it's fair or foul, because I don't know.
And this is what I'm saying. I'm not coming for people's jobs. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to do that by stating this. But what I am going to say is, how are we not finding these brothers, bro? How are we legit? How are we not taking money out of their paychecks, out of their salaries? Somebody tell me.
Yeah.
You don't want to fire them. You don't want to suspend them. Yo, can we find them? We got to do something. Because ain't no way, bro. I just saw it myself. I missed it. This is after the fact. And I'm like, yo, what?
Yo, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'm not even joking. Yo, the Orioles got jobbed. If I'm the Orioles, I'm calling the league. Somebody got to explain this shit to me because I don't understand. That's a bad call.
Honestly, that's bad, bro. If this, let's say this would have been, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 years ago, I'll let you slide. It still looks crazy.
A replay to correct it. What's the point of replay if you're not going to correct the call?
You got replay where the fans can see it leading up to when you actually get the correct call, right? You have people who their actual job is to look at this damn thing. I don't know how many times before they give you the correct answer. Yo, Major League Baseball, bro. Yo, let this happen in the postseason, bro. I think people might riot.
And this is why I'm going to tell you. This is why being in bed with them gambling companies is dangerous stuff, bro. It's dangerous because now it's subject to interpretation. Yo, did Vegas need the Yankees to win because of some gambling situation? That's dangerous. That's dangerous business.
Yo, you know what's crazy, man? And I don't want to come off as hypocritical. I'm not like anti-gambling. I was having a conversation with Stefan the other day, Chad, a few days ago, and I was telling him where, I had a few times back in the days, never addicted or anything like that, but I used to go to the casino, have some fun with my friend, spend $100, $150, nothing over the top. But, one day here with the platform, the way it works is you get enough eyeballs on your channel or the platform, whatever it may be. Yo, these people might come knocking on our door, right? So I don't want to make it seem like I'm against them entirely. But, yo, the way they have control over not just baseball, but sports in general. Like that shit is starting to become worrisome. No lie.
It is worrisome, and it's been worrisome since day one. And I got a theory about the Cattell Marte thing that we're gonna get into here in a little bit, but I got some theories. But, it's dangerous, bro. It's dangerous, and that right there is a clear-cut sign that it got to be some level of gambling going on. You can't tell me with a straight face. How do you not think that's a fair ball?
Look at this comment here by Bucks. Right now, they're not in it for the division, but let's swap what you said there, Bucks, with wild card. They're still in it, bro. Let's say the O's end up missing the playoffs this year, wild card spot by half a game. Now we looking back at Major League Baseball. What happened with that call?
And what if the Yankees come back, catch the Rays, and the Yankees win the division by half a game? The Rays are gonna be looking like, that call was bullshit.
I mean, listen, now the Rays have you never know. You never know.
It's a dangerous precedent, you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dangerous precedent. No, he's not gonna get fined, which is why they put him on the restricted list. So they're not gonna fine him in any way. This is worrisome, though. What he's dealing with is very worrisome.
What came out after? Because last time we had touched on it, and chat, for those of you guys who don't know, we are referring to the Cattell Marte stuff and him not showing up to the ballpark the other day. But what came out after? Like, is it injury related? Was it something personal? Because remember, that was something that we were talking about too. Him being somebody who has gone through some stuff. I didn't hear anything else ever since.
So there's conflicting reports. One person says that he's going back to Arizona to get his knee looked at because he's been having knee issues. That's one report that came out. Another report that came out says he was still in Boston. He was dealing with a family emergency, and that's why he was away from the team. His agent released a statement today saying, Cattell Marte is going to need a little more time. We don't have a timetable for when he's planning to play again or rejoin the team. Which leads me to believe that it's not the knee. He's dealing with something that's a little bit far more serious. We don't know the details. I'm not going to get into speculation because that's just disrespectful and wrong. However, I will say this. At some point, when you've had so many unexcused absences like this, because it did happen last year too. He did have his house robbed. You know what's happening when you having your house robbed, bro. That means you done got in business with the wrong dudes. You got in bed with the wrong crowd. You owed them some bread, and they ransacked your crib. Because nobody's running up in your crib just because. And you're a professional baseball player. Which means your crib ain't that easy to find. Somebody must have said, this is where this dude lives. This is what we're looking for. That was a setup, bro. 1,000% that was a setup, bro.
You know what I did hear? And I want to know if this is actually true or not. But I had heard that he was like spotted at a bar with some people who I don't think had ties to the Diamondbacks. Is that a true story or was that BS?
I can't confirm that. I don't know.
Yeah. But did you hear similar? I heard something like that.
No, I hadn't heard that till you just mentioned it. That's why I said I can't.
Right.
It would be foolish of me to say that I heard that because I haven't. And the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to mislead anybody into thinking that I heard something when I clearly didn't, especially when you're talking about a very serious, precarious situation. We don't know what he's dealing with. And it'd be wrong of me to assume that. Now, if he was out with some people that were of the nefarious nature, then that would explain why you wasn't at the ballpark.
The injury to me just, again, like you said, not that it can't be impossible.
Much bigger.
Yeah, it's BS, bro. You can't come out here and say that it's injury related when you couldn't even tell the team that it was injury related to begin with. You can't say it after the fact. If anything, saying it after the fact just makes it something that maybe it's not true at all. Honestly, that's how I'm looking at it.
No, and here's what I'm going to tell you. You know how you know it's not injury related? Just look at Terry Lavello's face during the press conference Monday night. This brother looked like he was about to break down and cry, bro. I'm talking about tears tears, bro. He was fighting every single ounce not to cry, bro. This looked like this brother. It looked like he was gonna lose it during the post game, bro. That's how bad. When you got the manager on the verge of tears, you know something serious happened. And then Torey Lovello confirmed that night, Monday night, that he wasn't gonna be at the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
He confirmed that he had heard that he was not gonna be at the yard. So if he wasn't gonna be at the yard, why was he in the lineup? Did you think he was gonna be able to make it after the fact? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Unless that was you just trying to play, cover up until after the game where you talk to the media. But even then, he had no answers, though. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Like, what does him being in the lineup do for you other than the schematic reason? But it's deeper than baseball at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if Lovello, he looked and he sounded the way that he did when he did speak to the media after the fact, it better be something serious. And Ketel Marte is somebody, as Stephen mentioned, has gone through some serious stuff. The other thing also, he did lose his mom at one point too. So he's a brother who he's gone through some things in life. He's rich and all. I know that's one thing a lot of fans like to run with. Oh, what you crying about? What you bitching about? You wake up with millions, being deposited into your bank account. Listen, it don't matter how much money you have, bro. Like you could still run into some serious stuff.
Yeah, and what it boils down to is let's have some empathy for this brother. Let's have some sympathy for this brother. We don't know what he's dealing with. We don't know the specifics or the seriousness of what he's dealing with. So before everybody tries to cast aspersions and say, well, he was doing this or that, or he was, like you mentioned, he was caught in the ball with some nefarious people. I don't know that. It'll be irresponsible of me to report that stuff because I don't know that to be true. Now, if I had heard that, I'd say, I heard he was out on the ball and somebody then yacked him up. But from all the reports, he's fine. He's fine. So nobody knows what the hell's going on. What I do know is baseball's going to want to look into this. Like, yo, how many times this brother's going to go AWOL before we decide, like, some discipline got to be handed down or something? You don't want this to become a league issue. Because once it becomes a league issue, it's out your hands. You can't do nothing about it. Once the league steps in and says, "Now we doing this," you got a problem.
Yo, believe it or not, I think, and I'm not trying to say that Ketel Marte is like the leader of this, or he's going to be the person to start something where other players, as you mentioned, start doing this. But I just think, especially with this younger generation, bro, after, the millennials or whatever it is that you want to call us, I think, that's the kind of generation they'll be all right with no shows and they don't give a damn how you feel about it, bro. Professional and all. Seriously. The one thing this generation cares about is mental health, actually taking a day off and not working themselves into the ground. And I respect it, right? The grind is important. The grind is the only way you get to whatever it is that you ultimately want to do. But this upcoming generation, bro, they will damn even make a video about it. Like, yo, I didn't show up and here's why. And you know it too. You see it. People work regular jobs and, they'll put the camera on and be like, yo, this ain't it. I needed some time off.
So here's why I lose respect for those people. Because we could have easily folded up shot and said, we're not doing this tonight. My mic ain't working. I sound all jacked, but I'm here, right? Because I have a responsibility to you and to the people in the chat to be here. I never understood the mentality of I'm going to take off for mental health day. How many baseball players in the 90s needed mental health days? When you really got cursed out by your manager, when you really got cursed out by fans, when you really got cursed out by scouts and executives and all that.
With less resources at that too, right?
You know what I mean? And they weren't making the kind of money these guys are making now. You know what I'm saying? So don't even sit there and tell me, yo, it's a mental health thing. Can't do that.
I do think, though, because I know you just made the comparison now versus then. I do think, and not that I'm giving like the slight advantage to this generation now.
Do that, for real quick, if you do that, let somebody know. Don't just take the day off because tell somebody with the Diamondbacks. Tell the traveling secretary. Call your agent. Call somebody. Yo, I'm not I got something going on here that's bigger than me. I need to handle this. I'm taking the next couple of days off. I just want to let you know in advance. Tell somebody.
Yeah. The one reason why I'm for, not just in baseball, but in sports in general, like I'm against the load management stuff, right? Like I don't want people to get confused with, oh, so you okay with dudes taking 10, 20, 30 games off? No, I think that's BS if you were to ask me. But I'm okay with, because you got to think about it, right? Back then, and not to say that the pressure was never on. Yes, the pressure was on. But I think there was a time when professionals did whatever it is that they did for a living at the professional level, went home and didn't have to worry about it until the next day. Literally. Across all sports, right? Yeah, you might have had to worry about like your nightly sports news, maybe at 10, 11 o'clock p.m., talking about your poor performance or whatever the case may be. Okay, right? That still exists. But I think what makes it harder now is social media. Like, you don't have to worry about the media now trying to make a mockery of you. You got to worry about the fans now DMing you, telling you to off yourself. And look at Jaron Durant from the Boston Red Sox. I think this year, he was talking about it last year. So now this makes 2 years of him just, fans be violating, bro. Talking like, oh, well, why are you even playing today? Like, you should have just ended it. That's crazy, bro. That's hard.
So I'm going to tell you something. If a fan says that to me in DMs, we responded. We responded. And what I'm responding with ain't going to be very nice. I'm not going to say it on the air because I'm not trying to get kicked off of YouTube, but I'm responding. Because if I should off myself, then somebody should have did something with you. It's called swallow, but we're not going to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the one last thing I do want to say about the Ketel Marte situation is, and this could come up too, right? Who knows? But what I would say, Ketel Marte, like, if you are unhappy, like, just let the D-backs know, bro, and y'all could figure something out in the offseason. Like, this is one offseason that we are about to experience like never before, and maybe that could be the time again. If he's unhappy, just be open about it, like you said.
Yeah, but they've been trying to trade this brother for the last couple of years. You the one that didn't want to go nowhere, and you got the 10-5, and now you stuck there. And then whoever trades for him, why would you trade for somebody that's that, up and down with his? Again, we don't know the severity of the issue. I'm just going off a track record alone. This issue is separate. I'm just going off basic track record. That's a tough spot to be in. Speaking of tough spot to be in, we started the show with this before my audio went haywire. But listen, Cubs, White Sox, sign me up for that. Sign me up for a playoff series. Sign me up for a World Series with those two teams. Word up.
That's why I said I wish the American League and the National League didn't exist, bro, because you could actually get a shot at seeing those two teams earlier in the postseason without having to wait so long. It was, listen, I think all 6 games that they played this year were great. They obviously, as I mentioned at the top of the show, they did split the series 3-3. But those first 2 games were something special, man, with the PCA 2 home runs, one of them being the walk-off. You got the veteran in game 2, Alex Bregman, getting the walk-off. That's quality baseball right there. Listen, don't be surprised if we see PCA and Alex Bregman in October do it all over again to other teams. You never know. And
speaking of doing it again to other people, they coming for you in the chat, my boy. They coming for you in the comment section. I feel liberated because for the first time in I think the history of this show, somebody's bearing the brunt and it's not me.
Yeah, no, listen, that PCA, the PCA versus Shohei Ohtani for National League MVP is heating up. It's certainly worth a conversation. Shout out to everybody who showed love to that clip on YouTube, TikTok. Of course, we're on Instagram as well. But this is something over the next month and a half, because that's what we have left, right, in terms of regular season baseball before the postseason. PCA versus Shohei Ohtani. That's going to be the talk of the town, bro. And my only thing is this. Yes, PCA. And would I be upset if PCA were to win the National League MVP? No, absolutely not. Like, In fact, I would be upset if he don't finish second. If he don't finish second, at least we got a problem. We should riot, even if you're not a Cubs fan. My only thing is this. I just think that offensively, I know PCA is a heck of talent when it comes to the position that he plays out there in center field. I get it. But I just think offensively, anything that PCA can do, let's not sit here and act like Shohei Ohtani can't do better is all I'm saying. The other night, what happens? PCA walked it off to go back to that series between the Cubs and the White Sox, Stefan. PCA, he walks it off, but he also hit another home run early in the game. That was 2. What did Shohei Ohtani do that same night against the Rockies? Yo, here's 2 of my own, brother. Here's 2 of my own.
But PCA responded the next day.
Right, and Shohei Ohtani hit another one yesterday, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Listen, anything that PCA can do offensively, it's exciting to watch because we've mentioned it here before. He's a 5'2" talent. He is a 5'2" player, and there are very few players in Major League Baseball who you can put in that category. PCA is one of them. I'm not trying to knock the brother, but I'm just saying, if we're going to get hyped for when PCA gets hot, let's not act like Shohei Ohtani can't wreck the league for the remainder of the season.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to act that way. Why? You know why? Because his offensive numbers don't mean shit because he's not pitching. You are not pitching. It don't matter. PCA is playing Gold Glove caliber defense and putting the team on his back offensively. Fuck that Shohei shit. Are you serious?
You know why I want to give Shohei a lot of credit. I'm panning both sides because one thing I want to make clear with my take is notice how I'm showing love to PCA. I might knock him, but I'm also showing love to Shohei Ohtani, right?
Well,
and you're not wrong. And listen, I know Shohei Ohtani, for as great as PCA has been performing, not just now, but even before the mental stuff, he was still solid then. He just ran into a bump in the road, and then he figured it out. I was expecting him to do that. But hold on real quick. My last point when it comes to Ohtani. We really not going to give this brother credit for when the Dodgers were waiting for Snell to come back. Glasnow still ain't come back. They waiting for him. How many starts did Ohtani make in the first half? I think it was like maybe 14, 15 starts, something like that. Bro, we going to just take that away from him because he can't do it in the second half, bro. He held it down. It was him, it was Yamamoto, and it was Robleski who held it down, bro. At one point, you had people saying and I was one of them, if Ohtani were to keep, and obviously we know he's not going to be able to be in this conversation anymore, but at one point, bro, let's not act like Ohtani wasn't in the conversation for National League Cy Young. He was, bro. I thought he was going to win his first one.
Okay, but he's not now.
Right, but it still matters what he did. That's what I'm saying.
No, it don't. No, it don't. But the fact that this dude's going to go 40-40 and win a Gold Glove. Conversation done. I don't give a fuck what he did for the first 15 starts.
Because look, he hit 50 homers last year. Okay. The season before, he hit over 50. Well, the season before was actually 50-50, to be correct. But even if he doesn't hit 50 bombs this year in Ohtani, I think the fact that he pitched as good as he did for half a season, that plays a big role.
So we can say PCA had half a good defensive year. Stop. No. You pitch every 5 days. PCA is on the field every day. Stop this. What are we talking about?
Here's my last take.
Every 5 days.
Here's my last take on both of these brothers.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not against PCA winning the award. I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
He's not my front runner, but it's close. If you want to argue, which is what we're doing now, you could do it. All I'm saying is PCA better pray that he plays the rest of the season damn near perfect because Ohtani's going to win it, bro. I'm telling you, he has to be perfect. He has to. He has to.
Bro, I will put money up on the air. What you want to bet? Voter fatigue is real.
It is.
I'm not giving it to you do it again.
Voter fatigue is real. But if there's one guy who I believe can break Barry Bonds' record of 7 MVPs, it's the best player of all time in Ohtani. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine, but he ain't doing it this year, though. Get this. Listen. Go. Because 40-40, Gold Glove defense, and you might win the division. I hope the Cubs knock these dudes out in the playoffs. I hope and pray to the Lord up above that PCA goes crazy for the rest of the season, bro.
So let me ask you a question, bro, and chat chime in on this as well. Let's say it's the end of the season. Both PCA's numbers offensively and Shohei Ohtani's are damn near identical. I'm talking RBIs, homers, OPS, you name it. It's damn near identical. Let's say the conversation then becomes, yo, what has PCA done not offensively, but defensively?
Gold Glove.
Right.
Gold Glove.
And because of that, I think you can mention what Ohtani did in the first half.
No, you can't. Because you saw every 5 days.
We're going to see, bro.
Every day.
I'm not saying that it's a slam dunk for Shohei. I don't think it should be. It's not a slam dunk. No.
Okay, good. Because I'm thinking like you think he's gonna run away with it. He ain't.
Well, if I had a vote, he gets my vote today.
Not
now,
mine.
he gets my vote.
Not mine. Not mine.
You know why he gets my vote? One, because of what the Dodgers are chasing, but also how important he is to that. Not just that, but I told you a minute ago, the only way PCA wins is if he plays damn near perfect baseball. He can't have another one of those midseason hiccups. PCA can't do that again.
And the season's almost done.
But we got a month and a half, bro. Show us what you got down the stretch. You know, Shohei's gonna do it for LA. You know he's gonna do it for LA.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Yo, Chef, why you disagree for, bro? I gotta hear what you say. Say it in the chat, bro.
Hold on, wait. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. You know why I'm so vehemently against this? Because we treating this dude as if he's impervious to losing something. You shouldn't give a fuck about this MVP. You should be trying to three-peat. Fuck this MVP. That would be my mindset. Yo, give PCA the MVP. Because I want the gold ring at the end of that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be raising the trophy at the end of that. It's cool. I'm fine. What I'm saying to you is Shohei Ohtani made 15 starts and hasn't pitched again since.
Mm-hmm.
PCA's been playing gold glove caliber defense while hitting close to 40. I'm hoping he gets to 44.
Right.
At that point, you could give me the argument he made 15 starts. My argument is going to be, okay, so he made 15 starts, but he made them in the beginning of the year when nobody give a fuck. We need you when it's...
Yeah, well, remember who I told you who was out? Like, I understand it was during the first half.
That don't matter.
Wait, but hold on, too. I just hope that Ohtani isn't being, like, his case for MVP isn't being diminished because he plays for the Dodgers. Let's not do that. Bro, we can't do that. No, you know why we can't do that?
Why?
Because there isn't anybody else in the conversation for MVP. Had there been somebody else, like a Freeman, like a Betts, like a Kyle Tucker, who has been playing poorly, by the way, we got to talk about that too. Right. Then I get it. But ain't nobody else on the Dodgers. There's other guys on the Dodgers that are playing well, but not MVP caliber baseball.
It don't matter. Just having those names in the lineup is good enough.
I just think y'all being a little too hard on Ohtani, bro. Like, it's you know who I think Ohtani is going through what LeBron did earlier in his career.
Then that's fine. I'll stipulate that.
He could be going through that. Like, if people are going to use that argument, and I understand voter fatigue is real because LeBron went through it himself. A lot of people argue that he should have won a couple more.
You can't win it every year. That's not fair. And we just might as well just name the award the Shohei Ohtani Invitational.
They should.
No.
We said it before, they should.
No, you shouldn't. Because what everybody else is going to do is going to pair in comparison to this. That's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the fairness, bro? You the one that always sit there and talk about fairness. There ain't no fairness in, the dude's offensive numbers are great. What he does offensively, I'm taking for granted because you do it every year. I don't care. It's like Judge. You can win 8 American League MVPs. What I tell you all the time. It's about what you do when. When you show up, win.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here's the thing, Shohei, you can have a great regular season. I better not see you crap again in the playoffs because I'm coming for you. Because you're gonna be the dude that wears the ire. Because I'm tired of people. Yes, listen, he's great. He's the greatest baseball player I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna deny that. What I'm tired of is then what everybody else does automatically comes in second place. There's sometimes you just gotta call it for what it is.
I think if he's only hitting, if we're only talking about Ohtani's offense and he's not on the mound, I think it's unfair for people to automatically just finish in second and third and beneath that. I agree with you.
Right.
But I think unlike other seasons, this season, he was back on the mound, right? I just want to remind you guys, it was 14 starts to be exact, 8-2, 1.7
How many
ERA.
How many
innings? I think like just under 100, 85.
So let's do the math on that. He made 14 starts. He went 85 innings. That means you're going like 5 innings a start. Stop.
That's normal. That's normal for today's standards. Now,
bro,
right? I was gonna say it is less than a quality start. It is. Right.
They're not the same. Don't tell me it's the same because it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
You damn near an opener at this point. Then you're a glorified opener. That's
a really good opener to have, bro.
I'm not arguing that. But don't we argue for value? When we look at MVP, we argue for value. Yo, if we were to give it to him on both fronts, aren't we arguing for how many innings plus the offensive stuff he does? Isn't that the argument? Isn't he a two-way player? Two ways should go, if you're a two-way player, you need to be in there at least 6 innings. That's a quality start.
All I'm saying is I understand your point that he's not being a two-way player in the second half, but he has been a two-way player this year. In fact, for half of the year, if that. Because, listen, you add another 14 starts in addition to what he did in the first half. You're talking about 28, damn near 30 starts. That's a full season at that point. Right. I know that would make a lot more sense. But I strongly disagree with the fact that we just ignore what he did. I can't do that, bro. I can't. It's hard for me. But we're going to see. We're going to see because this is something that we're going to have to pay attention daily because these brothers are taking blows at each other every day.
I'll leave the point with this. Am I disqualifying him because he's on the Dodgers and he does this every year? Yes, I'm spoiled. At that point, it's like I didn't see this movie before. I'm spoiled. Like, all right, enough. Let somebody else get some burn. Like, I didn't see this. It's like watching MJ be great for all them years in the 90s. People were sick of the Bulls by the end because it's Mike. You sick of this. You already know how it's going to end. It's like LeBron in the NBA. That's a perfect comp. LeBron should have won more MVPs, yes, but we got tired of watching LeBron win league MVP and nobody else won nothing. At some point, you need something new. You need another carrot to dangle somewhere. And here's the thing. The reason why ultimately I do think the voters are going to give it to Ohtani is because of this. He's the golden boy of the sport. The Dodgers are going through turmoil, and his MVP endorsement feeds a whole country, not just a city.
I know, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it fair? No. If I had a vote, PCA would get my vote tomorrow and twice on Sunday. And I'm going to tell you why. Because PCA had a bad second half last year.
I remember, right.
We were having questions about sending this brother down to the minor leagues. Mm-hmm. You hear what I'm telling you? And now to watch you put on a performance like that? Nah, dog. There got to be a level of, Ohtani's great and he's the standard bearer. But at some point, you just got to get disqualified for being so great.
So let me ask you this, and again, I hope this doesn't happen. So let's say PCA ends up having another mishap, right? Is at that point, like, is it safe to remove him from the conversation?
Yes, but I don't think he's going to.
I don't think so either. I hope he goes for the 40-40 that a lot of people are expecting. I hope so.
Bro, Tell me this. If he wins 40-40 in the Gold Glove, that's not guaranteed MVP for you.
You know what makes it guaranteed? And maybe I'm a little greedy by saying this. If he goes 40-40, wins the Gold Glove, and the Cubs win the Central, then that's guaranteed. I had to throw one more. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just throwing one more.
Nah,
it ain't like they can't wait, but it ain't like they can't do it. It's possible. There's a lot of baseball left.
They can do it, but listen, the difference is the Dodgers got that division sewn up by like 8 games without even trying. The NL West
No,
is trash.
forget the Dodgers. No, forget the Dodgers. Forget the Dodgers at that point. Again, I'm not against PCA winning. For it to be a slam dunk for PCA.
No, there ain't no. There is no slam dunk.
No, I think they're gonna split votes. Realistically,
No, I don't think there's a slam dunk. I think it's gonna come down to like a fraction of a vote is gonna swing one way or the other. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna get a close race. What I'm saying to you is, I just think you can't diminish the defense. Yes, he threw 14 starts, but it's not like he threw over 100 innings. He was at 85 innings, bro.
Right.
You were going like 5 innings a start. That's not even like you're not even giving me a quality start at that point.
Shit, 5 innings to start. Those are the brothers getting the $300 million deal.
I understand that, but and then here's the thing. You know why I'm also going to disqualify him? Because you know what they're doing now. When he pitches, he doesn't hit all the next day after that. If you were pitching and hitting in the same game, and you went 5 innings, but you went 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and a double, that's different.
Yo, chat, for those of you who are watching, Bucks, I see you, Chef, I see you. We got some other people in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's watching tonight. Very interesting conversation we have here. Do you have PCA or Shohei Ohtani for MVP in the NL? Let us know in the chat, because obviously Stefan knows what I think, and vice versa. I know what he thinks, but listen, this is going to be something that we're going to have to revisit a few more times. It's that close. It's that close, bro. I ain't mad at you for getting hype, bro. Listen, even if you want to drop an F-bomb when we get to September.
No. Cool. No, I just think, what I think is sometimes, because you know what they accuse us of, right? Yo, y'all don't fight enough. Yo, y'all don't argue enough. Yo, y'all don't. All right, we fought. We argued. Mm-hmm. Everybody got that feel. Good for y'all.
Chef says PCA or Miz? Nah, Miz, I can't put him in the MVP conversation.
Well, the American League MVP for me is Yordan Alvarez, and I'm not even thinking twice about it.
Oh, that's not even changing, bro.
That brother is he is on some bullshit.
Yo, no lie, and maybe I could be talking out of my ass by stating this, chat, but if Yordan were to go down right now and not play another game, I think he would still win this shit, bro.
Of course.
Like, yo, the brother is cruising.
Yo, and here's the thing. I think he's had a pretty average to below average second half.
Don't say that now. Don't say that now, because September we look up and he might do something crazy.
I hope he does. Mm-hmm. I kind of want the 50 home runs or like 140 RBIs. I'd love that. Hell yeah.
Nah, you know what? Forget the 50 homers. Give me a triple crown, bro. Give me that. We haven't seen that. When was the last time we saw that? Was it Miggy who did it? It's been a while. Give me that, and I'm straight. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Miggy's like Yordan. Miggy and Alvarez can't run. So just imagine how hard they're hitting these baseballs, bro. Just to be like, yo, I got the triple crown and I can't run for shit. I'm jogging, bro, the whole way.
Yo, speaking of Yordan, where is he at? Like, in terms of his contract with the Astros, has he ever like signed an extension? Or he did 6 years, 115. Okay, man, that's a bargain, bro. That's a bargain for the Astros.
Yeah, that's true. This is a good point by Shay. He did that shit in Detroit, bro.
Right.
That's true. And that yard is big as hell. And Biggie was like, I don't care, bro. That shit is crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mickey was different, bro. Now you mean you're talking about one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time?
To me, he's in my top 5.
Of course.
I got him. I got Manny Ramirez. I got A-Rod. I got Mark McGwire.
Pujols got to be up there.
And I got Albert. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Albert was another one. Albert couldn't run for shit. He was hitting rockets all over. He was hitting rockets all over.
Yo, and the guys that we're talking about, these were dudes who were, I'm talking like at the top of the top for a decade plus. Pujols, you know, he did fall off after a decade, but the other names that we mentioned, he said no judge.
Nah,
Judge ain't in that, he's not in that conversation for you?
not yet.
Not yet.
Not
You
yet.
got to do it for a little longer.
Give me 2 more years.
That's my argument with Judge. It's not so much the World Series. I think when it comes to if it's a Yankee conversation, the World Series matter. But if we're just talking about just being like one of the greatest hitters of all time, I think he needs a few more years.
Yeah, because who am I taking off this list? Am I pulling Albert? No.
Right.
Pulling Miggy? No.
Mm-hmm.
I might pull Mark McGwire for Judge, but Mark McGwire had some pretty crazy ass seasons.
Right. You can't pull Albert Pujols. You can't.
Am I pulling Albert? No.
Mm-hmm.
Am I pulling Manny? Hell no.
Nah. And the thing that makes it tough
So
too, Manny's a winner, Pujols is a winner.
The only debatable one I'm talking about is Mark McGwire. And the reason why I say that's debatable because of you know what I mean, because we already know. But obviously, like I'm not pulling anybody else off the list. I might.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you told me if I had to pull Mark McGwire, I'll give you another name. If I had to pull Mark McGwire off the list, I'm putting A-Rod on the list before Judge.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me you can't use Mark McGwire, but you told me I got to put somebody else, I'm putting A-Rod on the list.
The thing is, A-Rod did it for 3 teams. He was good with Seattle, in Texas, and the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you could argue that he was juicing with all 3 teams.
So what? So was I think they all did something at that point, but he came out and admitted it.
You know, a lot of people, I've had friends like DM me, you know, here and there over the past couple of years, especially since we've brought the show to social media now. A lot of people just straight up believe that some of the best athletes are actually on something. Now, we may not know what it is, and the leagues may actually give these guys a pass because of what they could do if they are on something.
Right.
But that could also be a thing too. Who knows? Where like the league just generates so much money off these brothers to the point where, we can't even tell you if these guys are using something because they're that important to the sport.
Could be, yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, if you're talking left-handed, I'm going Barry Bonds.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go Barry.
I'm going Griffey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with the injuries. Going David Ortiz.
Ortiz is in there for sure. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know who was a favorite of mine, but ain't gonna get that much love. But I'm a huge Jim Thome fan.
Mm-hmm.
Look up at Jim Thome's numbers. Jim Thome had a great career.
Mm-hmm.
And my last one
didn't he hit over like 500 home runs? I think he had over 500, right?
6, didn't he? Google that.
Let me see. He got to 612 to be exact.
Yeah, so I'm going Jim Thome.
But Thome was another guy. He was good for mad teams, bro. Cleveland, Philly, the White Sox. Yeah, man.
I got one more. My last one, left-handed, is because I'm trying to think what are some of the prolific left-handers that we used to watch back in the day. Who was one lefty you used to be like, damn, that brother can hit him out? Because I know we named Poppy.
Before he fell off. Now, I think the guys that we mentioned are way better. But one lefty that I enjoyed before he fell off was Cano. Cano used to hit for power and average. Young Cano, bro. Yeah.
I'm going to give you one. Rafael Palmeiro.
He's another one. Didn't he use 2 or no?
He used PEDs, yeah.
Right.
Pete Rose is a good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks has an interesting question. If we besides Jordan, is it Junior Rice and Jordan for MVP? Yeah, but I think Jordan clears the field, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jordan wins it rather easily because Jordan, what he's doing right now is crazy. By the way, shout out to Ben Rice. I looked up Ben Rice's numbers before we came on the air. Ben Rice is gonna hit 40 home runs, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's
He's gonna finish top 3. He's gonna finish top 3 for sure.
yeah,
I think those 3 names that you mentioned there, Bucks, it's gonna come down towards the end of the season. Same 3 guys. I don't think that's gonna change.
yeah, but I think Jordan clears that field rather easily, bro. I don't even think it's a conversation. Nah, but yo, imagine if Griffey didn't get hurt, bro. If Griffey don't get hurt, I don't think Barry Bonds is the home run holder, bro. I think Griffey gets to like 800 home runs, bro.
Mm-hmm. I think if A-Rod doesn't get suspended for that entire season, I think we would have, gotten close to.
He's up there. He's close to like Henry Aaron type of shit. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I remember at one point that was the conversation where whether you liked A-Rod or not, that was the conversation around Major League Baseball. Yo, are we looking at baseball's future home run king? But then a lot of shit happened along the way. I guess the spotlight was too much for him, and then we knew what happened.
I got you. Yo, let me ask you something because I want to get into these wild cards because we usually do the division winners, but yo, fam, these wild card races are insane, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of can't tell who's going to be the second and third wild card in the American League. One day it's Toronto, one day it's Boston, one day the Orioles are sniffing around it, other day it's somebody else. Like, what's your thoughts on this whole wild card race, bro? Because I'm kind of like, yo, I feel like every day it changes.
I think in the American League, what makes it interesting, especially is the amount of teams that are like half a game out, a game and a half out for the third spot. Because I think for the first 2, I don't really see that changing. I think the Yankees and the Red Sox at this point have that in the bag. So it really comes down to that final spot, right? And it's up for grabs. You got Baltimore fighting for a spot, right? You got Toronto. Who else? I mean, listen, some could even argue, yo, the Rangers is still in there as well. Like, there's a lot of teams, right? The Tigers, the Twins, the Guardians. The Guardians are my pick actually to get that final spot, but it's not gonna be easy. Look at how many other teams I just mentioned, right? Along with the Guardians, it's tough.
If it's me, I'm taking. Give me the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays? Yeah. I think the Blue Jays, if they could be better once they get right health-wise, and if Vladdy could get the bat going, I'm not saying that he needs to start hitting like an MVP, but can we please get a little more pop, like some more extra base hits in there when they're not paying you all this money to be a singles hitter, bro? Like, I'm sorry. Like, you got to do more. Because, listen, Dylan Cease, some would argue that maybe, he deserves, to win the Cy Young. I wouldn't go that far. I think it's Cam for me. But you can't ignore what Dylan Cease has done. Well, they got Soriano, so they still have a 1-2. I know your Savage is hurt, but it ain't like the rotation is shit,
No, it's not bad. The one thing I worry about with the Blue Jays is, can that bullpen sustain itself, especially later down the stretch?
Mm-hmm. Well, they got closer figured out. I think the issue is getting the ball to Varlin, because Varlin has been nails. The ERA, I think, is like 1 point something.
Yeah, can you get the ball? Last I checked, I think he was at 1.3 or some shit like that, which is insane. But can you get the ball to him? Yes. Here's the other thing I want to say too. You need somebody else to step up. We're waiting for Vladdy. Vladdy, that's never going to come. I don't think. This is just an off year for him. I think you need a guy right now, like a Nathan Lucas or a Ernie Clement. One of those guys have to step up. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This guy, Alejandro Kirk, is the unsung hero of that lineup. Every time Alejandro Kirk is up in a big spot, something good happens. That guy is just a straight-up RBI machine. You could get that offense to at least right itself a little bit, Toronto's going to be dangerous, bro. Toronto's going to be very dangerous because I think they get you Savage back at some point, and I think they put your Savage out of the bullpen.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of the bullpen, I did some I was looking into the Red Sox. By the way, Roman Anthony did start a rehab assignment. He did homer, so that's a good sign. Last time we brought him up here on the show, we wouldn't even know if he was going to be able to hold the bat again. So Red Sox fans, y'all got to be happy about that. But I did hear that Crochet is expected to come back, but not as a starter. He's going to be in the bullpen, right? So, I mean, if you're lucky, if you get like what, maybe two innings out of him down the stretch, come postseason. Now, it ain't a bad thing, though. I know you would have liked to have him as your game one starter going into the postseason because we saw what he could do, right? But I think because listen, they already figured out Bayo. I think you leave him right where he is as like that long relief. It's perfectly fine. I wonder if come October, if the Red Sox somehow could have this duo with Bayo and Crochet where they could get like, let's say one of your starters come out early in like the 4th inning, bro. Let's say you could give Bayo 2 innings, you could give Crochet 2 innings, and then you just give the ball simply to Roldis Chapman, and that's it. It's a wrap as long as you got the lead, you know? Now, that's in a perfect world. But it's gonna be interesting though, because it's not like and this was one thing that you said too. The Red Sox had to prepare for Crochet not actually being in a rotation because to this point, they've been able to do it without him, right? So it's not like him only being able to come out of relief is the end of the world. You haven't had him for a majority of the season anyway. So it's nothing new.
Nah, but he could be a secret weapon in the playoffs, though, because you don't know when they might bring him out. They might bring him out in the 5th or they might bring him out in the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
We might, depending on if a game, let's say Chapman, you need to get the ball to Chapman. Crochet might come out for the 8th inning as like a setup man just to get the ball to him, and then you could close the game. Because if you in the wild card series, everybody's on the table. It's just a matter of when you throw the dude. You might throw him in the 4th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. Yo, try to get us through this inning right here. They might try to get him a clean inning, but you never know. Playoffs, people do desperate stuff in the playoffs. So just to have that arm out there is big time.
That's going to be scary, man, to be able to say like, yo, go out there, give us all you got for 2 innings every time we give you the ball. Like, you're not asking Garrett Crochet to go out there, go 7 strong, 8 strong, only allow 1 run. Like, he ain't got to do that. Just go out there and get 6 dudes out for us. That sounds fairly easy with the stuff he's got.
It's a scary proposition is what it is. Because, like I said, you don't know when they're going to deploy him. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I think I'm sitting here thinking about this. The one team that scares me in the playoffs, because they have so much pitching depth, I got 2 teams. The 2 teams that scare me in the playoffs are the Yankees and the Cubs. Because they have the depth from the starters to the bullpen to match up. Where I'm telling you, Ryan Weathers is going to be pitching under the bullpen in October. He just is. Carlos Rodon looked great yesterday. Listen, can I be honest with you? I think this Max Fried is like a phantom IL. Say your elbows barking a little bit so we can skip you some extra stars center stretch. That's what I believe. I believe it's a phantom. Dodges. Yo, I'm all right. Well, let's just say my arm is barking, just to say my arm is barking. But I think if he comes back right, because he was filthy before he went on the IL, bro. He had a 1-something through 6 starts. Bro, fam. You telling me you got Cam Schiller, Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon?
It's tough.
That's, man.
And Cole looks good, man. I'm glad that he's back to himself.
Man, you tell it. And listen, Garrett Cole is probably your game 2 starter. Because Cam's gonna now they might be deferential to Cole, so they might give him the ball in game 1 just off of seniority alone. When you're asking me how I would line it up, if Cam Schiller gets the ball in game 1, that's a for sure win. We're walking out of there with a win. Cole gets the ball in game 2, even if he struggles, because Cam's gonna let the bullpen have some time off. that's not fun, man. And then God forbid, God knows where they're gonna throw Weathers at. Oh, and by the way, remember I told you Luis Hill's gonna pitch for the Yankees out of the bullpen? Who's in Scranton right now, pitching for the Scranton Rail Riders out of the bullpen?
Mm-hmm.
Throwing 99, by the way. That pitching depth is crazy, bro.
It is. I just hope that, especially for Yankee fans, while we have been able to enjoy the pitching, not just now, but for the entirety of the season, we're talking since day one, right? Like even when guys were down and now that all these guys are back, I know Max Fried just went down, but like Stefan said, he'll be back and he'll be fine. I just hope that these quality starts, right, where they go out there and they only allow like one earn, they go through 6 strong. I just hope they don't go to waste come October, right? Because it would be a shame if we're having the same conversation in terms of like where's the Yankee offense to protect the pitching staff.
Well, that'll be like every conversation we have about the Yankees or October. The offense didn't show them, the pitching did their job.
It's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
That ain't nothing new.
What would really hurt is if the pitching staff actually doesn't live up to expectations.
And
I would be like, oh shit, we in trouble now.
No, but here's why I think the Yankees are going to be fine. Can I say this? I think Garrett Cole mission the first, what he missed, the first 4.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
He came back when? July? You missed the first 3 months of the regular season, bro. Carlos Rodon has missed a huge chunk of time. Max Fried has missed a huge. They don't have the innings on their arm that you would ordinarily have in a regular year. So outside of Cam Schlittler, there's nobody with over 160 innings on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, to me, it's like you would kind of get away with it. You can get away with it. Like I don't think it's that far-fetched to say. I think if you sit there and think about it, you're like, they might be well rested for the playoffs. Here's what I'm going to tell you, though. I'm going to say this to you. I got some intel. We're not too far away from Aaron Judge taking like live BP. We're about a week. I would say we're about a week and a half out.
Oh yeah, they got updates on him already?
From him taking live BP, he's doing some swing stuff in the pool. He's doing some muscle core stuff in the pool. Mm-hmm. We close to seeing him on the field, hitting balls like live BP, tracking balls. We're close. So
right.
He's telling the Yankees, I'm coming back this year. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I will be back. So he's not even letting the Yankees even talk about the idea of shutting him down and none of that. I'm coming back. So, and Cody Bellinger could be back as soon as Sunday, depending on how this rehab goes. But he was like, I might only play one rehab game and just get right back into the big league. So we'll see what it looks like. But
good timing, man. Listen, for these guys to better late than never. Take your time for both Bellinger and Judge. What's good, Cambodian? I see you.
What's up, bro?
But listen, this is exactly what the Yankees need, right? Because I think this is the only way it works, right? There's no other way.
Yo, and I'm sitting there thinking about this. Let me ask you a question. This is not a Yankee question. This is just a baseball question in general. Even with all these injuries and like the up and down play, right? It feels like this playoffs is going to be some of the craziest playoffs we've ever seen. Would it surprise you? Would it surprise you if
he crazy?
Yo,
Cambodian, you missed it, bro. We were showing some love to your boy Jordan, bro.
Jordan Alvarez is the best hitter on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. Tell some if you ain't know, you better ask somebody. That boy, him.
What were you saying? Would it surprise me if what?
Would it surprise you if we got to October 11th, 12th, and two of the teams that we had penciled in to go to the championship series are no longer in the mix?
Would it surprise me? Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of teams who, aside from the Dodgers, right? Dodgers aside, I hate to do this, but you have to because Listen, if you don't say that, then it kind of comes off as if like the Dodgers are included. Can it happen? For sure. You never know. I don't think it happens. But Dodgers aside, I think they're a slam dunk. I could see the Brewers being a team that, should get to the NLCS but don't. I could also see the Chicago Cubs being a team that get to the NLCS but don't. The Tampa Bay Rays, as good as the pitching staff is, listen, Ken, like you said, you mentioned Nick Martinez, Shane McClanahan. Can these guys hold up, for a deep playoff run in October? So, and listen, I know we just finished talking about them, but you can't let the Yankees off the hook just yet. You never know what could happen with them. There's a few teams who I think have what it takes to get to that point in both leagues.
Yeah,
that could fall short.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say something crazy. I'm about to shock you. I think the Dodgers get taken out before they get to the series.
Come on, nah. See, now you had me with our conversation earlier, bro. Now you just gonna have me turn off the mic.
Okay. Repeating 3 times is hard.
It is.
It's hard. They got bullpen problems, and they're a year older. I don't care how good you are. You don't get younger and get better. You get older, get slower, and get more hurt. That's another year you're asking these dudes to do it.
No, you know what? Seriously, on a serious note, I'm glad you did bring up the Dodgers again, because I mentioned his name earlier. We didn't get into it, but they got to figure something out with Kyle Tucker, bro. Kyle Tucker, I understand the contract, the money, it all looks crazy for you to be saying something like this about a player like that. But I think the Dodgers are one of the teams, one of maybe the only teams in baseball who could do something like this, where you could just simply sit one of your best players down or send them down to the minors, and it don't have to be viewed as a negative. Get your mental right, get your defense right, because he's dropping like routine fly balls, right? That should easily be outs. He doesn't even look like half the player who we thought he should be. Now, I didn't think that he was going to go to LA and turn out to be extraordinary, right? But I also didn't think that he would be nothing like the Kyle Tucker that we saw in Houston, that we saw with the Cubs. They got to figure something out, bro. And I think you got to do something now before we get to the midway point of September, to the ending of the season, and then you can't do anything at all.
Well, you got 3 problems there. You want to know what they are? You got a Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz offense problem. Listen, Dave Roberts came out and said lately, we are not playing forceful baseball. We're not making these pitches work. We're not doing the things that championship teams do. Is it a byproduct of age? Yes, I believe so. I believe it's them trying to bite their time so they get to the postseason. I just believe the more you win, the more the pressure mounts to keep winning. At some point, you're going to run into a team that is young, that is hungry, that doesn't care about your pedigree and tries to take you out. The Dodgers are vulnerable. This is the most vulnerable they've been heading into any postseason. They're vulnerable. Now, we said that last year, but this year feels a little bit more like it's wobbly a little bit. Freddie's been good, but he ain't been the Freddie Freeman that's hitting 320 and lacing balls all over.
Mookie's declining for sure. He's declining.
He's having an average year. Teoscar is okay. I wonder if you get a team in there that realizes they're good, but they're beatable. This is why I wanted Milwaukee to go out and get another starter, because the Miz throwing 100 combined with another starter to back him up, that makes life harder for the Dodgers, right? And here's the thing: who's to say that Scooble's going to be okay in the play? Who knows if the pressure gets them of having to be great? Now you're a mercenary. Now you're here to do one thing, and that's win a championship. And then it's your contract year on top of that.
Well, he has pitched great in the postseason before, but I think doing it in a Dodger uniform for the Dodgers, that's a different level of pressure. Like, that's not just postseason baseball. Like, these guys are expecting to go out there and finish the three-peat, you know?
Honestly, it's a legacy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legacy play. It's not.
You know
even
what
about,
surprises me though, to bring it back to Kyle Tucker, for example. I mean, we mentioned a few guys already, right? Schoolboy, Otani, Freeman, Betts. I mean, they got a whole bunch of guys on that team. You name it, even the ones that we didn't mention, right? But I'm surprised that he's performing the way that as he has when he's got, I would say, the best supporting cast in Major League Baseball. Period. Like, how many other players in baseball could say, "Yo, I have like 6 to 7 all-stars as my teammates," you know? And for him to kind of feel all this weight on his and I know it comes naturally with the money, with what the Dodgers are trying to accomplish as a team. I get it. It was just bound to happen. But I'm surprised to see that he's struggling this bad, bro. Like, you would have thought the Dodgers were expecting him to be like in the MVP conversation, and he isn't in it. And it's like, yo, bro, they don't need that from you. Just be average, if anything.
$57 million says otherwise to me, brother.
Right, but because he's been below average, that's why I'm saying, could you at least do this?
I'm not paying you $57 million to be average, bro. Nah. You're here to complement, yes, the rest of our stars, but at some point when these stars begin to fade, you're also here to be the guy that ushers in the next era of Dodger baseball. We paid you to be the guy that takes the mantle, right? So, look, at the end of the day, is it far-fetched to say? Yes, it's far-fetched to say. But it's baseball. Anything can happen in baseball, bro. One slip up, one misplay, one injury, it can happen. And who knows if they're being affected by what's happening with this ownership news. Yo, are we all going to be here? Is this our last ride? Like, can the next owner afford us? Like,
yo, the empire's crumbling, bro.
And look, you laugh, but it's very real.
Yeah.
Because
Chef Mamba actually told me something earlier today where he was like, yo, like, I hope they have to like sell some players off. Shout out to you, Chef. I saw your message.
Listen, man. Who's the best team on the East Coast right now? I would say the best team right now is Tampa. But they got questions. And I'm going to say this, bro, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy. Don't sleep on the Red Sox. Just don't fall asleep on them, man.
Oh, they got me. My eyes are wide open when it comes to them, bro. After that stretch, I'm watching.
The Yankees are dead. Listen, the reason why I still have my reservations about the Yankees is this. Jazz Chisholm is still your second baseman. There's a lot of swing and miss with this team.
The base running mistakes, as we talked about in the previous show. Yeah.
And I still don't have full faith that they're going to be able to glue this together in the back end of the bullpen to get the ball to Bednar. Like, how much can you rely on a Tim Hill? How much can you rely on a Paul Blackburn has been great for them.
Yeah. I think his ERA is like in the ones.
It is, but playoffs are different. Playoffs brings out a different level of intensity.
You know what my issue with the Yankees is? Because, you know, we did talk about them earlier tonight, and you mentioned that Aaron Judge, he's pushing, right? We hopefully we should see him at some point before the season's over. I think even if the Yankees are healthy, you know, I'm talking Rodon doesn't go back down, Max Fried returns, Aaron Judge returns, Bellinger, you know, everybody returns, right? And they figure it out. They mix and match the pieces that they have on that roster. I still think the Yankees are one of those teams that they'll beat themselves, bro. They just will. Now, we would just have to wait and see how it all, you know, happens in real time. But, you know, we can't sit here and act like the Yankees, even healthy and all, can't still beat themselves, because they can.
So, here's what I'm going to say. It's either the Yankees lose in the wild card series or they go all the way to the World Series.
Damn, you think they could get bounced that early in the wild card? Damn, I'd be upset, man.
I'm gonna tell you why. So
That's
it's either
very disappointing.
that was one of those two extremes for me, and I'm gonna explain to you why. You can win games 2-1 in the regular season. With the amount of mistakes they make on the bases, the amount of mistakes they make in the field, throwing the ball all over, not being focused, missing cutoff men, playing all types of crazy. There is a shot where for 3 games, because they're going to be the favorite, for 3 games, you slip up and lose the first one on an error by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Somebody boots a ground ball, doesn't get it out of his glove. By the time you know it, you're down. You're down. Somebody hits a 2-run single. By the time you know, we sit on pins and needles at Yankee Stadium going, what the hell?
or the new one is we got umpires getting in the way of Jazz, and Jazz, he don't even want to feel the ball no more. He's barking.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all saw that? I was laughing the other day. Because listen, I understand where Jazz was coming from. I get it. You know, you want to have your eye on the ball at all times. And I think with an umpire bouncing on, right in front of you, it makes it tough. But at the end of the day, even if you still have a shot at the last second, you got to make that play no matter what.
You have to. Also, too, and this is the other thing with the Yankees is, I'm going to say it. As unfair as it is, I'm going to say it. We can't put all our eggs in the George Lombard basket. You got to remember, he's 21 years old. First time being in a pennant race. First time playing in the playoffs. First time being in a pressure-packed Yankee Stadium. Is different. It's a different game. Different beast. Different.
Mm-hmm.
There is a world where George Lombard, as great as he's been so far, becomes 21 years old and human in the playoffs. You have to expect that there's going to be a level of drop-off. And if you don't, I don't think it's fair. Because you could do it for the regular season. Regular season baseball is different, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what it's like in Yankee Stadium when shit gets rocking and the crowd's into it. The moment something goes bad, what happens? Somebody pulls the plug on the place, bro. You go from being excited to your best friend died.
Real quick, like the first negative thing, and I hate that about Yankee fans, right? I feel like the first thing that goes wrong, people go haywire. They don't know what the hell to do next. But it's the truth,
right? So I think the thing I'm worried about, if I look at it, Roman Anthony's healthy now. Roman Anthony can walk in Yankee Stadium and have an absolute field day for 3 games. I'm healthy. I'm the best hitter in this line. He might wreck your lineup, bro. Now we talking about Roman. You talking about they're getting production. You getting production from guys like Wilson Contreras. Mm-hmm. You know who's going crazy for them? What's his name?
Rafaela has been wilding out, bro, in the second half.
Number 30. Give me number 30's name. He had 3 home runs back to back. Number 30 on the Red Sox roster. Who is it? I can't think of the name. Hit the roster for me. Number 30. He went absolutely crazy. Hit 3 home runs this last 3 games. I can't think of the brother's name, and I just finished watching him earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Would it shock you if Boston beat the Yankees 2 out of 3? No.
You thinking of the catcher, Mickey Gasper?
Gasper.
He homered in 3 straight games so far for the Red Sox. Yeah.
Yes. Listen, you got boys in that line. You got Adley. You got Roman coming back. Cedar Rafaela's been bugging. Mm-hmm. Chad Durbin's been the Red Sox are not going to be easy to deal with, bro.
Well, yeah, Abreu. Yeah, that's a deep lineup. When you put all the pieces together, I mean, right now as it is, even without Roman Anthony, they've done a hell of a job. Look at where they're at, right? They're back in the playoff picture, even without him. But I think you put him in the mix now. We talked about Garrett Crochet now, even him. Despite him not returning to the rotation when he does return, you could still try to figure something out where, you could make something special out of it, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be viewed as a bad thing.
This is very true. But I'm just a cynic in nature, Shay.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. I'm a cynic in nature. You have to prove it to me. Because how many times have we thought, oh, the Yankees are gonna run away with this. They're gonna get in the World Series, and you end up losing in the wild card round.
And also, too, the one thing that I think a lot of people gave credit to last year's Red Sox team was the fact that they did have a guy who was experienced in Alex Cora to manage that team. Now, I know they've been better without him ever since they moved on, but you know, is not having that playoff October experience, is it going to matter this year? You know?
Yeah, it is, because this is when managers get paid the big money.
Right.
So you're gonna know how good Chad Tracy is by when he, you know, what happens then. The NL wild card also intrigues me too, because I feel like somebody that we think is gonna run away is gonna slip up and lose. Like I can see Atlanta getting bounced out first round.
Honestly, I don't know who. Maybe it is Atlanta. Maybe I would even throw Philly in there too.
Philly's another one, yeah.
I just have a feeling that either the Braves or the Phillies are not gonna make the playoffs. I could be wrong and both get in, right? In fact, if I had to choose, I would like for both of them to get in. But with the way things are looking, some of these teams are playing better in the second half. I think one is gonna miss.
If I had to put my money on, I don't think Philly gets in.
Think Philly could actually miss out? Right.
Too much swing and miss. Too much up and down offensively. They don't give you enough to stay consistent and say, I wonder if they get in. I wonder what happens. Right. And the reason why it's either one of those things is, yo, I'll take it. I'll move it back to the Yankees one quick second. This could all be, yo, they just got hot at the right time. Everybody came together healthy at the right time. And the American League is weak enough where even if they're not all the way at 100% full strength, they can still get to the series. Because I believe there's a world in which that can happen. I believe there's a world in which you look at the Yankees and go, well, I think Lombard rises. I think Judge has a crazy postseason. I'm gonna tell you right now, you know who I think the odd man out is in October? Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh boy.
Is that crazy to say?
It's not crazy. Like the brother could come back, right? It's not like he doesn't have a spot on this team. He does. But I with the moves that they made, bringing in Garcia, Ramos, even though I'm not a fan of that still to this day, I just think that Stanton doesn't necessarily he belongs, yes, but I don't know where he fits now with all of these. Because remember, before these guys were here, it made a lot more sense to see exactly where you can put Giancarlo Stanton at, right? Especially lineup wise. But with the additions that they made at the trade deadline, my question is now, what do you even do? Because at that point, you're talking about some of these guys not even getting at bats in which they should be.
So here's my best guess. My best guess is that they're going to give Giancarlo a run because he's tenured and you know what I mean. But I think Giancarlo got to have a quick hook, because if he's not right, there's no way you can just throw him out there and be like, all right, he'll work his way through. It's pennant chase time. You got a week to kind of right yourself. If you don't do it in the week, you're gonna have to come off the bench. Gonna have to, because who's to say that we give you that month, playoffs come, and you look as abysmal as ever? Stan's the odd man out to me, bro. That's
the problem too with Stanton. Like, not saying that he can't figure it out and somehow have an impact.
It's gonna take.
But also he's 36, about to be 37 in November. That's one, right? And I know we have a little more than a month left of the regular season, but is that enough time for a 36, almost 37-year-old Stanton to get it going, to have an impact in the Yankees lineup come October? Is that a lot? Like, are we asking for a lot from him at his age is all I'm asking, you know?
Honestly, you might be, bro. You might be. And I'm being realistic when I say that. We might be asking for too much simply because You just said it. He's gonna be 37 years old, bro. Like, at what point? We got to remember, this is a young man's game. There's a lot of young people in the game. This ain't for 36, 37-year-olds unless you're David Ortiz. There's not many him walking around here. Like, tough sell.
Mm-hmm.
So, some questions, and I'll leave you with this because we're gonna go in a second. But I have to ask this question, and then we'll get out of here. I want your answer. And chat, you can give me quick answers. If you had to pick today, who's the manager that gets fired before? Who's the manager under the most pressure outside of New York and Los Angeles?
Wow, the manager under the most that's a good question.
Outside of New York and Los Angeles, because Boone and Dave Roberts, that comes with, that's built in automatically.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Philly aside as well, because it's kind of tough to mention Philly when they already made a decision early this year, so they already got like things that they got to figure out moving forward. That's a good question, bro. It's a great question.
I got one.
I'm
gonna tell you who's under the most pressure right now. Pat Murphy.
In Milwaukee.
Yep.
Right.
You can't win 2 managers of the year and then not get deeper in the playoffs. If not now, when?
That's the thing, man. With the Brewers, talking about deep in the playoffs, the next step for them is the World Series, because they went as far as the NLCS last year and lost to the Dodgers. So the only way it happens is I think if they take down the Dodgers, bro. It's the only way. And you did mention that it is possible, right? And you wouldn't be surprised if it happened, because the Dodgers are dealing with a lot. But did the Brewers do enough is my question, to the point where even Dodgers banged up and all, not having an answer with Diaz, not having an answer for Tucker, are the Brewers good enough to still take them down despite those dudes not playing well? I don't know.
We got a couple answers in the chat. Shaq goes with Seattle. I think he's gone either way, because I think they missed the playoffs. So I think he's done either way.
I think the
Mariners. By the way, they lost 22-0. They got football scored last night. They gave up 3 touchdowns and an extra point, bro.
That's why I put out that clip earlier today. I was like, hold up, I lost what?
22-0. They gave up 3 touchdowns and a safety, bro. That is insane.
That's bad. At that point, you're not even playing.
Boston is an interesting one, because I don't think Chad Tracy is there for the long haul. So maybe just because they want a veteran guy in there next year, Boston's an interesting one. I got one.
Boston's tough too, though, because they're in the same boat as Philly. They both got rid of their guys earlier.
We had Cambodia in here earlier. I think Joe Espada's under some pressure too. You better make the playoffs. And you better not get eliminated early on, because if you do, there goes your job. So right now, if I had to guess, I would say Milwaukee in the National League, and in the American League, I'm going to go with I just had it. I'm going to go with Houston. I think those are the 2 managers under the most pressure to get something done. Just my guess.
Yeah.
Nah, you in Tampa. There's no pressure in Tampa. He's good. He's good. They're good every year. He's good. And even if because I don't have Tampa going to the World Series. We here. We're leaving in 2 seconds, bro.
Damn, Shrek. Should have been here, man. We was talking about your boy Jack Caglia. No, I'm joking. He's been hot, by the way.
That is different, man.
Yo, go back to the beginning of the show, Shrek, if you can. You'll see what happened, bro.
Yeah. So we got to get this microphone situation figured out. We'll be ready to go by Sunday, because I got the Amazon, 24-hour delivery. So we're gonna have a new wire in here relatively expeditiously, because I sound like complete garbage right now. But Thank you guys for tapping in. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys on the other side. All right, peace.